Hi, do I start? Hello. Hi. Okay, from what I understand, I'm supposed to start myself. Yes. Hello, everybody to the show. This is Gosia from Cosmic Agency. And sorry if I got confused for a second because I'm actually doing this now on Annick's program. So I got puzzled for a second, but here I am. Here I am. So we're going to start this amazing show today, explaining a lot of important things around the symposium that is going to happen in Limoges, in France, in May. And I have with me Annick, who is the organizer. Hello. Sorry, Annick, for the confusion in the beginning.
No,
Here
so
you
far
are.
it's fine.
Yeah, sorry. I thought you were going to start first. So, anyway, here we are. Thank you guys for watching us. And hello to all the Alliances Célestes subscribers and everybody who is watching us from France and from around the world. It's really nice to have you here. And stay tuned because we're going to talk a lot of interesting and important things about the upcoming conference, and not only. And let me tell you, my presentation in France will be very different. You'll be surprised. But we'll get to that a little bit later. First, we have Annick, and I'm going to give it to her for a moment to introduce herself and tell us just briefly something about the upcoming event.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And I say hello to all your community, of course, in addition to Alliances Célestes ones. It's just great. It's This tool is wonderful for this because we can then all exchange, around the world. So I'm very happy to have this moment with you, Gosia. So who am I? Well, I am a contactee. But what I say is I'm contacting new generation. I will call it that way because I am able to take pictures and videos of the celestials in the sky when doing certain protocols, let's say, a way of contacting them and collaborate with them. So I've been doing this for several years now. And this is why also we created the Alliances Célestes NGO, which was aimed at being like a intermediary between humanity, but the citizens, not the military, not the governments, but the citizens and the celestials who are prepared already to get in contact with us. And at that time, we were asking them, hey guys, why are you still talking to militaries and governments? They lie to the people. We will never get the truth if we continue like this. What can we do? And they said, well, we come here, so we do as always in all other planets. We go and see the guys who are representing you, and we are not going to visit 8 billion of people on Earth. And so we said, okay, but then we have a problem because we have some sort of confusion and lies being told all the time. And so we said, if we create a structure which is really only made of people and who are not military and not government, and then would you accept to collaborate with us so that we can start the how do you say that, the divulgation, is that what you say, how would you say it? Oh, you've got your microphone off.
Disclosure, I guess.
Disclosure, that's it. Yeah, my English is not perfect, so I will try to do my best, but this is it. So for the disclosure regarding their existence, what they are here for, and so on. And this is exactly what you are doing, Gosia. And this is why I was so pleased to invite you at the next symposium we will be doing, and so on. So just to summarize, so I'm a person who takes pictures, videos of the collaboration I put in place with them, because we want the people to be truly informed, and also because there are not only extraterrestrial people, there are also beings from Earth, but living in other plans of existence, you see. So this is important to start with also what is close to us, to us, rather than always looking for very far species, let's say. But everything exists, so this is the funny part. So this is why we started in 2024 a symposium in the Zenith of Limoges. And the Zenith of Limoges, to tell your community about, is a huge place where you can receive up to 6,000 people or whatever. So, and the first time we received like 2,200 people. And we made conference about the existence of other beings, and to open mind and start being prepared to what is coming, wherever we want it or we don't want it, it will happen. And because the contact with the extraterrestrials and the interdimensional is just a some sort of obligation, because it is part of the ascension process. So we can't go around it, and there are two ways of handling it, either with fear or with love. So we have collaboration with them. We are really friends, let's say. They have lots of humor, at least with the ones that I communicate with, and they're not sad at all, and they have a lot of love and a lot of comprehension to give to us. But they also are straight with us. They will not do things for us. We will have to do the way by ourselves. And this is how we finally get in touch together, because this is our second symposium. We waited 2 years before doing the second one, because it's a lot of work. And then today we are there to explain that you will be attending this symposium, and that it is a real opportunity for all the people who follow you, who trust in you, because you have been in contact and have been able to give precious information that non-human people can only display. And this is what is interesting to know about, without any judgment about the people. Let's get factual and see that the information you gave is of high level and cannot come from a human being, not all the time. So, and this is the point. So this is it, if I can summarize the introduction.
Thank you so much. I have learned new things about you and about your own contact, and about actually those beings behind the symposium. As Annick told me before we entered live, she said that they usually need to approve whoever she wants to invite. She gets like this confirmation from them. It's okay to invite this person. So I'm very honored that I was approved by that collective of beings that you are communicating with. Thank you very much. It's a completely new territory for me. I've never been to France in the conference. In fact, I am not super experienced with conferences. So this is really an opportunity, because I am really close to myself and I do the videos from home. It's really a very rare opportunity to say hello and to exchange a few words. And also for me, it's a rare opportunity to see you guys. I never really communicate with the people, with the community, just online. So for me, it's also a rare opportunity to be with a like-minded starseeds, people who follow us or who don't follow us but are interested. So it's always very curious. We do have to say, just more from the technical point of view, before I forget, that this is going to be translated. No, you can tell people right away, into 30 languages. So do not worry that this is just in French, or I'll be speaking in English. Well, it will be translated just in French. It will be, and I just found this out myself, will be translated into 30 different languages: Polish, Spanish. I say Polish, Spanish because we have a big community there, but all the other languages as well. Can you explain something about that?
Sure. So because you are coming from Finland, and then we have Jimmy Blanchette, who will come also from the United States, we of course figured out that people who follow you and love you and have this opportunity, so that you are there in Rio, they would like to meet you and discuss with you, because as I always say, the symposium is for the people. So we will be close to each of you, guys and girls, because all the speakers will go in the hall and meet you directly. You know, we're not hiding, and we will not be like the people in one side and the speakers on the other side. This is not the way we think. So, of course, we will need translation. And for this, I had to look for a solution which allows everyone from the countries around France and even further to come if they wish. So we will have a sort of application which will be on the mobile phones. So you will connect through internet to the application. You will have a specific code to put in, and then you will access the platform of translation of only the symposium. And then you will have like 30 languages to click on to get the translation into the language you want. So, of course, Spanish, English, etc. So you can switch then from one language to the other as many times as you want. If you are speaking different languages, then it's up to you, but it's really flexible. And you will have simultaneous translation either by writing on the phone, or if you have your ear pieces, you know, that you put in your ears, then you can have it translated with a voice. So this is very useful, because then it's not limiting to French-speaking people, meaning that when you will speak in English, all the French people will choose French language to get your conference in French, but the other way around as well, you know.
So this means that there is not going to be a translator, a physical translator translating me.
Yeah, that's right.
That's better, because when I do the conferences here in Finnish, for example, I speak one sentence and then there is a Finnish translator, and that slows it down.
I know. Yeah, I know. This is the usual way of doing, to be honest. And this is very convenient, because then even if there is a misunderstanding, we can correct. Here we will not. But there is another advantage. It's because if you have one person on the stage with you translating, he will be translating into one language only, because he will not do 30 languages. Here we found this application which allows to have 30 different languages, which means that even people from, I don't know, from Greece or from Italy can come and have the translation. So they are not, you know, they say that it's worth it to meet you face to face and to have the whole day translated. So it's a real, let's say that, you know, technology, we have to be cautious about it, but we have also to learn how to use it properly to our advantage. And this is a very good tool which appears only now. And when I discovered it, I said, wow, well, this is a huge opportunity, because I'm thinking about you and Jimmy, because the American people can come. So we have American people who already told me they have booked their flights and they're coming. So you see, this is the way we can open the symposium not only to French-speaking people, and this is a huge
yeah, this is fantastic. So I'm going to make a video in Spanish after this, where I will explain in Spanish what the deal is. Now, before we go into other speakers, well, actually, maybe let's do it now. Can you explain a little bit more about other speakers that are coming? And after that, I will explain what my presentation is about, and also to your viewers who are watching who don't know me, I will explain a little bit about who I am and what I'm bringing, because I decided that this presentation is going to be different. It's not going to be what you were expecting, okay? So stay tuned. But first, maybe Annick can explain more about other speakers coming.
Okay, so what I will do is I will share a little presentation so that we see the faces of the speakers, etc., so that people understand. So here we are. So is it working? Yes, it's fine. All right. So here you're having on the left side, you have the speakers. So among the speakers, you will have, well, Gosia, of course. Then you have Anatole Kerbrat, who is in direct contact with celestials and of different species. And he actually has already animated the previous symposium with me, but this year he will be also a speaker because he has a lot to say about these different species he's in contact with. He's not seeing them, but he receives a lot of message that he likes to share with his community and all the people who wish to listen to it. Then you'll have myself, so that's okay. Then you have Jimmy Blanchette. Jimmy Blanchette, for me, is a high level guy. He is like a radio, well, he's starting like an amateur, but now he's like an expert, and he sends with his radio at home signals and messages to extraterrestrials. And what happens is that they answer, and they answer by being present in the sky and showing geometrical forms with very specific angles and values like phi number or p number. I don't know if you say pi, I don't know in English, whatever. So it's not he's a contactee, and with video and photos, like me, he's proving what he's saying, and he's showing exactly how they answer. And they answered the very first time he tried. This is what surprised him. So you will discover a guy who is an expert in his field, is a very high level. Not a lot of people know him in France, and that's a pity. So this is a good opportunity to see a man who is no ego. He's just so nice and so on, but he's very factual. And he says, well, look, I send this to actors, and then they come and they show us things, okay? So he will share with you the videos, the photos, and that will be extraordinary. Then we have Lilou, and then you have, in fact, Julie and Lilou. They are like information in, intel displayers about the world which is changing and so on. But there at one time, I think it was like 2 years ago, they joined the Alliances Célestes within the ethical committee, which makes sure that we are not going like this, and that we respect everything linked to the nature of the being on Earth and the beings which are not on Earth. And so they will come to tell you about the future, about this committee, what they think is happening in the new world, based on all the information they receive, which is not only the extraterrestrial, but also other subjects. So that would be interesting to, enlarge the communication. Then you have Charles-Maxence Laillet, and he's a journalist, very serious. He's going everywhere in the world, and he's been lately in Japan, and he will come on the show to talk about the UFOs and the extraterrestrial subject in Japan. And this is very new, because in Europe, we don't know much about what is being said, where they are in the disclosure of the extraterrestrial. And this is very, very interesting. He wrote many books. He's been, he has a magazine called Orbs, the New Planet. And he's a journalist within a very, very famous, at least in France, magazine called Nexus. And so he's a very serious person. He has his own view. He will share his view and what he has seen in Japan, how the Japanese contact the extraterrestrials. So that will be very interesting too. Then we will continue and almost finish with Nathalie Théo. And Nathalie Théo is a person who has been living through, I think it's 3 times dead. She's been, dead 3 times. Very, very child, a very small child, and then 2 other times afterwards, which gave her the access to information that she displays all the time. She travels around the world. She has seen many things, etc. And she will be sharing about her lost contact with the inner earth people when she went to the Mont Shasta. So that will be also interesting to know a little bit more about those population that we don't really know much about as she's been in contact with them. And then finally, we will have Jean-Michel Raoult, who is the general director of the Alliances Célestes NGO. And he's a contactee. He's been contacted during 20 years by different celestials. At that time, they were not taking real photos, and so on. He has some, though, but that was not as big as today. So today he has improved his technique to get in touch, and he's doing like me. He invites normal people, everyone who's interested and wants to experience, to come on the field with us and to organize contact and collaboration with the celestials. And the people take their own photos and videos, and they've got them on the photos and the videos. So this is what he's doing as well. And we both work on the optimization of the ascension. So meaning that we never contact the celestials just for tourism. We contact them to help in the ascension process. So he will be there also for a conference based on the parallel worlds. And that would be interesting as well, because this is a subject which was not raised before and which is coming now because we are approaching them. We are coming in their world. They are not coming in ours. We are approaching them because we raise our frequencies. So it is important now that we understand and that we learn how to behave properly, because quite honestly, sometimes we could scare nice civilizations when they see how we behave, always arguing, always fighting, etc. But among all of the citizens, there are beautiful people, which are the ones who are following you, who are the ones who are following us, and they have light within that they can spread around them. And if we meet together, then we will have a very wonderful moment to raise our frequencies, because this is an invitation from the celestial, the symposium. The symposium is not a show that we, I had lots of time to spare, and that I wanted to be occupied. No, because I'm over busy. So I do the symposium because the celestials are giving the hand like this to say, hey, we can help in some way. We can help you raise your frequencies, because then you will not go back down. And then it helps you for the ascension process, so that you leave this timeline and you go to the timeline, which is much better, with much, love, understanding, peace within, And so this is their invitation. And this is why it was funny, because yes, you talked about it, but it's totally true. When I do the symposium, I can imagine people that I would like to invite, but if it's a no over there, whatever I do, it will be not possible. I will have a no, or the date is not suitable, or whatever. But I had so many times the experience about that now I understand how they work. And so they say, well, it will be this one and this one. Yes, this one you can. So this is why, I told you, you can be honored, because this means that you've been approved, and which is a sign, of seriousness and so on. Because Alliances Célestes doesn't want to lie. We go to truth, whatever it is. And even if it doesn't please everybody, we want to go to the truth. And everyone's experience is good to hear. And it's fair that everyone can be listened to with their own experience, as long as what you've been living, you are transmitting it with total honesty. And I think with you, we will be pleased with that.
So well, my presentation will totally resonate with that, and will be bringing truth, actually, in a different way how I was presenting it in the past years. But before I go to that, just to ask you this, so it's going to be 2 days, yes? So these presentations will be in 2 days.
Yeah, so you have 3 days written on the flyer, because you have 2 days in the symposium in the Zenith, which is in Limoges, which is nearly the center of France, so that all the French people can have nearly all the same kilometers to do. But then for foreign people, it doesn't change anything. Limoges is also a city which is very well, how you say that? It's accessible by train from the airport of Paris or other cities as the others, but it's a very well equipped with train and plane, because there is also an airport in Limoges. So it opens these possibilities to come. Then, what was your question?
About, is it 2 days, but then there is like a field trip or something?
This is it, because then you have 2 days in the Zenith. Then the third day is something that nobody does in the world. So I take the opportunity, because it might change, because then people might do it later on. But at least for this year, we are the only one proposing it. We propose that after the 2 days, we raise the frequencies within the Zenith. We then organize a meeting with the Celestials, who are giving us a rendezvous. And then we will be on the field around Limoges. Okay, and we will go there, we will have the meeting, and when you will be able to take your photos and pictures and so on, and videos. You will be able to do it anyway at the Zenith as well, because during the 2 days in the Zenith, I propose some sort of meditation to raise the frequencies, and then to go outside and take your photos and videos. But if you have the possibility to stay one more day, you can. We don't ask any money, right? Let's say that it's included in the 2 days tickets. To be honest, and I want to to be very straight with this, the NGO is not making money on this event. Okay, we just pay the Zenith, we pay the technicians, but the speakers are not being paid. I am not being paid. No one is being paid, even not the one, because there will be singers, there will be music, etc., to help us raising the frequencies at the maximum. And all these people come for free. And I want to make it straight. So we're not making money, but a Zenith is a huge place with huge amount of monies. As long as you say hello, it's 50,000 euros. So, and the room is empty. Then you have to find the lights, the sound, etc. So I make it straight. So because I hear people, always saying that we're going to make a lot of money. No, the money who's going to come in is to just pay what we owe to all those technical people, because we're not taking any. All right. So this is to say that the third day is on our way of doing. We don't ask money. Okay, you will come, you will spend the day with us. You will have let's say activities in the morning to help raising the frequencies, harmonizing our hearts, and then we will proceed to the contact in the afternoon, and then off you go. You will experience it by yourself. And I proposed to all the speakers, if they wanted to be there on the third day, saying that it was not an obligation. And as a matter of fact, everyone said they wanted to be here. So that's fantastic, because then you will be even closer again on the third day, because then we will share the picnic on the field. So it's just amazing. Okay. And to complete that, you have the second flyer, which tells you other personalities who will be in the public, which is very rare, because lots of events, I don't know in your country, but at least in our, people who are the speakers are there, but there are not other speakers who will not be on the stage coming. We are, I think, the only event up today where known people come just to be there in the public, to hear what you have to say, and live the experience with the people, you see. So it's amazing. You have among them Luc Baudin, who is an international person who is known so internationally. Then you have Alexandre Killand, who is very close to the galactics. He's been contacted as a young man. You have Nicolas Turban, who is a reference in France for the contact with the different species of celestials, and he was a speaker at the previous symposium, and he accepted to come back because he is also a peace ambassador within our NGO, you see. And peace for me is very, very important. It's going to make the difference between the ones who are always seeking for fight and the ones who are looking for peace, the ones who are looking for illusion, lies, and darkness, and the ones who are looking for light and truth, you know. So then you have Freddy Mouchard, who is a very famous for us, how do you say that? Producer and
Producer?
filmmaker. Okay, he will be there. He made a very nice films about the Qatar, who in France, and about Saint Jacques de Compostelle, who is a very famous way of crossing France in a very initiated way, etc. And all the others. Isabelle is a contactee with photos and videos. Nicolas Raoul and Valérie Gidon are also light workers, and all these people have, are on the how do you say that, on the window, let's say. They are not hidden. They are very official people, and they have lots of seminars and things like that. Okay, so this is what I wanted just to introduce to you. As the people who will attend the symposium. So as you can see, the zenith of Limoges looks like a spaceship.
That's so cool. I was about to ask you, is it like in a, what kind of building is it? Is it in a hotel or what?
So it's all round, all windowed, and then inside you have the big let's say conference room with the scene and with all the seats. You have all the information on the website of Alliances Célestes, and I will show you the address later on. But what I would like to add for you and for all your community is that in Limoges, all the blue points you see are megaliths. So it means dolmen, menhir. I don't know if you know that. So they bring very high level energies all around Limoges. Limoges is there. And so every single blue point is a megalith like this one. You see what I mean? So it's like a network of high level energies, which will be there. Have always been there. They have not been waiting for us. But the interesting point is that we lived the experience in September as a training and with the Celestials. They asked me, listen to this, because organizing a symposium, it's 1 year of work, and I'm like this. And in the middle, they come to me and they say, look, you must organize another event before. And I say, what? Another event? No. And they say, yes, we need to train. So you will go in a certain part of France, and you will organize a big meeting with people, and we will train to go down lower so that the pictures are better and that we are closer. And we did it. And we have fantastic photos that I'll show you. So, meaning that here, the fact that I'm telling you that we just discovered this year, in 2024, we didn't know. But this year we discover that there are as many megaliths as there were in September, because this is exactly what they did in September. They chose an area in France which had full of megaliths like this, 154 ones, and that helps them with the frequencies that they raise, let's say, to them to get closer. And says we will leave the same thing in Limoges because of the presence of all this. But this is not it. We have all these megaliths, but we also discovered that there is a meteor which landed 200 million years ago next to Limoges. And so we have an extraterrestrial meteor in the ground. So you see, it's amazing. So when I tell you that it's not me organizing a symposium, it's the Celestials. It's because we didn't even know that there was all this, and they know it in advance. They know that this year they are going to come closer.
So this is why that place was chosen, the city of Limoges. It was given from them.
They chose it because I didn't. I called many, spaces and asked, "Okay, are you available? Would you accept to welcome us, etc." And this is what I told you. There were nice places called Antares and so on. I said, "Oh, it looks like galactic, so I'm gonna go there." And it didn't work. It didn't work because we had to be there. We had to be at that place. So we're not choosing anything. We're like guided, by them. It's a pure collaboration. So it's magic. It's more like magic.
Thank you for explaining that, because my next question was actually about the place itself. Because I was trying to look up myself some information about the Limoges and about the area. I didn't know about the megalithic structures, and definitely not about the meteorite. So I didn't find anything apart from French history. A lot of French history is there, but what you are saying is a lot more interesting. So thanks for explaining that. That puts everything here in a different picture about the area and about the area energy. Thank you. What is this?
So, this is the impact of the, let's say, a simulation of the impact of the meteor, right, around Limoges. So what you must understand, because I have a message to transmit to your community and ours even, the Celestial gives you an appointment so that you can come, raise your frequencies, and shift different, let's say, timelines. I will say it that way. I apologize for my poor English. I'm trying to do my best. So once you raise your frequencies, you can never go back to the level before. You might go lower, but you never go back to zero. You just, ramp up. And because we are in an ascension process, sometimes people say, what are they doing for us? Of course, they will not do the work you have to do for yourself. But what you can do is they sometimes, and this is the case for the symposium, they say, you want help? Okay, we give you help. What we can do is help you raise your frequencies and help you raise your vibrations so that you can open your consciousness and access other plans where we are waiting for you. And this is what will happen. And so they told me that this year, people who will come to the Zenith will do 2 or 3 minimum shifts during the 3 days. That's very interesting, because this is what we are all looking for. We want to raise our frequencies, leave this timeline which is going crazy, and go to a timeline where it's more like aligned with our own dreams and frequencies. So and regularly I ask to the one I'm contacted with, I say, what can we do to help more? And they say, raise your frequencies, raise your frequencies, raise your frequencies. This is the only way. Okay. And we have to learn how to be joyful again, because the people are sad now and they are in fear, and this is not helping. When you go to the symposium, we can ask all the people who came the first one, they say, wow, that was incredible. We felt an energy absolutely incredible. We took people in arms. I've never done that before because I felt so happy and so on. So they do help us raising the frequency. We collaborate with this because I do exercises to help as well. It's not just like magic from anywhere, but then you feel it inside and you keep it. And what happens also is that you get connected to your galactic family, let's say. It's a reconnection. Many people told me that after the first symposium, they had nothing in their skies before, and then from that moment, they got ships staying on the top of their houses, you know. So this is very interesting also, because this is what also they told us. They do reconnection of family, so that people who feel like alone or wondering what on earth am I doing here, you know, then they get support which is energetic and link with their own galactic family. So and this is real.
Thank you so much. Am I? Yes, my mic is on. Thanks so much. I wonder if it connects with something I was feeling last year. Actually, last year, at the end, I started to feel this like a premonition or a strong vision of something spectacular happening in the future. And this was so spectacularly good and positive, a lot of well-being and
That's
abundance
it.
on every level. And I didn't know what it was connecting with. I didn't like specifically interpret it this way or that way. It just, I had this wave of that positive, super positive, and like such a positive vibe that I have never experienced before. And I didn't know what it was connecting with. So I wonder if it's something to do with what you
It,
were
it
explaining.
Yeah, it could be because in 2024, when we did the symposium, we asked afterwards if the celestials we are in contact with were happy with what happened, and they say, "Perfect. You sent a wave which went all through Earth, so it does help raising frequencies without having them going lower, and that helps
Mm.
in the process. We're not perfect. We're not better. We have no ego here, no ego at all. We just do our part because we know we are responsible for everything which is happening. We are not outside of the process. We are the process. So as long as we understand that, we can be totally involved. And yes, it will have consequences. Now, is it exactly this? I can't answer because I don't know when exactly you felt this, but you know, everything is helping. And we shouldn't be making comparison or whatever. We are all doing what we have to do when we feel it. And the symposium is a real proposal from the celestial, the benevolent ones. And it is so huge, the happiness you feel and the light, and you know, it's amazing. People just can't imagine how it is possible, and they do it quite honestly. So what I
Okay.
can say to your if you are okay with this, I will share few photos to show what they could take in photo during the symposium. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I was
that
gonna
they
ask you
see.
that because I was wondering, yeah, what do you mean by
Ah,
photo? Yeah, yeah. Okay,
yeah.
let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's normal, and you are totally right to ask, because people can have, there are many people saying that they are in contact but you never see anything. So here I will have the chance to show you different pictures that I took, or other participants took. And this is the big difference. It is not reserved to an elite of people who are the only ones, etc. Everyone can have this kind of photographies. This is one I took personally, all right? But I'm going to show you many others which have been taken by the participants at the September training session with the celestial. So it was the training. So you're going to see the photos, and then you can see and imagine if we got those photos on September, which was only a training session, what will happen during the symposium at the Zenith of Limoges. So I make them bigger because it's more interesting. And now how
What
do I
is
do
this?
this? So this is like a ship. There, I'm telling you in advance because I will be showing you much more than that in the during the symposium. But there is someone inside. Okay, so I'm not showing that today because I want you to come to the symposium
Okay,
and,
okay, I understand.
and see all the revelations.
Okay, okay, I understand now. Yeah.
Okay, so hang on a minute. I'm having a problem of. Hang on a minute. I have to stop the sharing and start again because I can't move my photos. So is it better? Yes, it is better that way. Okay, so I do the sharing again, and I apologize for this. Okay, there. Okay, so this is a second one. And so this appears in the sky. You don't see it with your own eyes. It's impossible because your eyes, you know that your eyes don't see. Huh? It's only your brain which gives an image, an interpretation of all his database that he has. All right. So when he doesn't know, he can't imagine. So he doesn't see. Your eyes won't see, but it's there. And because it's there, your camera can take it. And this is how you see those manifestation in the sky. And you can see that it's really not a bird. There's no wing. It's not a drone. So this one is interesting because this ship is sending, how do you say that? Telemetric little one. There's no one in the little one. They are just measuring your frequencies, where you are in your ascension process, what is the vibrations around on the field, etc. So that's very interesting. This is the kind of photos that other people take, you know, so very, very different ones because it's all linked to consciousness. This is all what we will be talking about during the symposium so that you understand why we have these photos and others don't. And you will be able to experience that by yourself. I'll make that a little bit bigger so that you can see that there are different shapes. It depends on when you are taking the film or the photo. If you are lucky, you're in front of a manifestation which is solid enough, but sometimes you just have like fluid which is trying to be in shape. So I'm showing you like more concrete photos so that you see that we will not be showing you blur photos, you know, and that there are different shapes, and we just have to raise our frequencies, and we have a work to do before, but it is, you know, we've been doing this for 20 years, so it's not new for us, okay? It's just that now they are closer and we have much clearer photos, let's say. So I'm showing you only a few ones, okay, to show you that sometimes we take the photos there, it's not formed yet, so it looks like something that we don't understand. And sometimes we have the chance to take the picture right at the moment where it's stabilizing, and we can start seeing shapes. Like this one, for example, which is a beautiful one. And we understand better what they're doing. So this is how they get closer to us. You see, for me here, once this is formed, you should have someone inside. This is what happens. And I think they open doors, and they come to our world to show themselves, and then they go back, you know. And with our own frequencies and consciousness, either we have it on the photos or not. This is why we have to work beforehand. You can't go there and take the pictures right now if you never experience that. This is why we need the 2 days in the Zenith before to get much clearer photos on the third day as the final experience. But all the photos can be very detailed and get closer. I mean, here, don't tell me it's a bird, or we have a problem of sight here. So as I told you, you have different shapes and so on. Sometimes we wonder, what is it? So they're not there completely. This is the interdimensional. This is the closest to us. Okay, so this is exactly the kind of pictures you could take coming at the symposium. This is a real new kind of experience.
Is this from the sky? Yes?
Yeah, all in the sky.
Oh, okay.
All in the sky. So you just take the picture up there, or you film, and then we extract when we see a presence, and then we see that, and we say, oh, wow, he was there.
Well, they did tell us that anytime there is a conference or some kind of a ufology event, they are attracted to those events, and they do show up, and they do come, and not even as ships, but also they are among the crowds. Many of them actually step down, and they mingle, and they observe. and they like to see, they like to check things out when these events happen. So I wouldn't be surprised even that they would be somewhere in the audience.
Absolutely. To be honest, if you go on the website, you will start seeing that right from the beginning, when we decided the date, they started to show on the top of the zenith. So we already started having far away, but they're always there. They told me in end of 2024 that they want to intensify communication about their presence through communications. They told me, and at that time I said, of course, true. Well, what are you telling me about? And and then they say that they no longer want to go to individuals or very small groups, because they've done that many years, and now they are looking for events where the groups are much bigger. And because they want to see us also joining, they are fed up to see us dividing. And so when they see people, they are getting together and they are in good mood, and they are like communicating with each other in a friendly way, they are raising the frequencies, they understood something, and then they come to help by raising the frequencies with their help. So this is the point. And I mean, here for me, this is a fantastic photo of the proof that they are coming closer. So for me, it's huge. So
that's very cool. Maybe then I will be able to see something eventually, because myself, I never actually see anything. And it's not that I am looking forward myself much. I've always been more interested in what they have to say. But hey, if I'm honored with some kind of a vision, of course, I would appreciate that as well. So
well,
thank you.
Of course, because that gives confidence.
Thank you so much for showing the photos. That's really cool. Yes, and also I want to say about my presentation very fast, because it actually aligns with what you were talking about, the truth coming out, and it has to be done with the honesty. This is the time now to reveal the ugly and the nice, no more sugarcoating and all that. So in my presentation, like normally the people and the contactees, and they always talk about their message, what they have to say. Well, just a few sentences to your viewers who are speaking English and are listening. I will be talking about my 7-8 years of communication with the Taygeten Pleiadian crew, who is a group of physical extraterrestrial beings, people, physical biological people who have been stationed for a very long time among many other races around the Earth, rotating their presence here on and off throughout the millennia, basically. And our communication with them was not telepathic, so that's important to mention, that it was word-for-word communication, written communication, where I and my friend Robert from Spain, who is doing this work in Spain, we have shared our conversations and our chats and their information on our YouTube channels, word for word. Now I have over 600 videos with the information given by them, or our chats, because it's not like it was some kind of a message, okay, transmit this to the people. Like, it was very casual. They are very normal. They are people. So at least the ones I'm talking about, because the ones you are referring to coming from other planes and interdimensional, and the ones I'm talking about are more physical. They are just people, biological. You can touch them, they will come down, and you can interact with them just like with any physical person, because the universe is so rich. It has all kinds of variety of beings. I mean, it's not people are arguing it's this or it's that. It's that. No, it's all. There's just so
everything.
It's everything. So someone has more affinity or compatibility, maybe through their soul contracts or soul family connections with one collective and one race, and another person with another, and they're kind of speaking for them, and I don't like that word, representing. That's another subject, but in a way, we are here, this bridge, and this is what I will talk about in my presentation. In my 7-8 years communication with them, we have learned a lot about their psychology and about how they deal with the people on earth. We also saw how people deal with them. Being in the middle gave me this lens, this view into how both sides interact with each other, their expectations, their traumas. There are expectations and there are traumas, and they are, uh, you know, yeah, expectations. That's a good word on both sides, and sometimes it's difficult to bridge. And just because the gap between us has been so long, has been there for such a long time. Before they used to mingle with us as ancient gods and civilizations, but then that is, the separation started to be there, and in that separation process, there's a lot of psychological and unconscious expectations and issues and traumas that need to be bridged. That gap needs to be closed. So in my 7-8 year interaction, I was able to see many of those expectations coming from the Taygetans themselves, how they view the interaction, their reaction, their psychological fragilities and strengths, and the same on the human side, and what we are expecting of them, how many times we are perceiving them because we are conditioned in a certain way, and also how they are conditioned to see the humans still, yes, because many of them are still in this kind of ancient perception of them being superior, and they need to
Absolutely.
break out of that themselves. And I will address that as well, because there are these extraterrestrial bubbles created, these perceptions of their identities as being so perfect and so ideal and so amazingly perfect, and they are not that. And I will address that in my presentation. I will be actually not only addressing the people with the message from them, I'll be addressing the extraterrestrials with the message from us. I'm going to actually have to have key points for both sides, advice for both sides, how to bridge that gap, because neither side is perfect and neither side has a perfect key how to approach another. They are in their own bubble still, and we are also keeping them in that bubble pedestal. So we need to bridge a lot of that, break that, and normalize the whole subject. So my presentation, I don't have details of it yet, but it will be basically not just, okay, I will tell you what the Taygetans say. No, I will tell Taygetans as well, and the extraterrestrials in the general, what is necessary and what is needed from my experience in order to bridge this gap with the humans. So it's going to be messages for both sides.
It's
Going to be
extraordinary, because it is time for that. It is time for that. We have to get prepared, and we believe, well, sometimes I talk with people and they tell me, oh, this will happen, but within 100 years. No. It has already started. They are getting closer. And how will you behave once you are in front of them, and this is a way of being prepared, by seeing faces which are different from us, and some faces which are totally like us, because species are it's a huge amount of species, but also they have a way of living, a way of seeing life, of giving value to life, which is different from us at that point. And we need to be prepared to be able to at least exchange few words without having big eyes saying what on earth they are talking about, and so this is not as complicated as it could seem, but yet there are informations which needs to be transmitted, and the symposium will be a very beautiful opportunity for you, because you have so much high value information to transmit, and in addition to the opportunity for your community to see you in real, in Europe, because you're not traveling a lot to in conferences. So I think it's a real chance, and I'm so happy that you accepted to come, because for me, there are not so many people who had the chance to meet you in real and feel the truth through you. You know, what is your vision? What did you experience? What they are keen on transmitting? What is their priority from their point of view? And because we have priorities from our point of view which might not match, we
No,
have.
exactly. That's what I want to bridge. I want to talk about some of these points that what we are expecting many times doesn't match what they're expecting, and neither side is wrong. We are just like, we have been shaped throughout the centuries to be so separated from each other, and that created a lot of these differences. So having been able to talk to them for 7 years directly and seeing them personally, like their psychology and how their reactions are and their emotions and how they react to us and how people react to them and how it clashes many times. I think I could offer some insight and some advice for both sides, so this can
We need.
grow. So this closing of the gap can accelerate.
That's absolutely perfect. You can't be better than that, because this is exactly the mission of the Alliances Célestes NGO. We want to be a bridge so that
Yes.
we can prepare humanity with true information and make, the link between the
Well,
celestials and humanity. So this
look
is
at my
it.
name. This is exactly why I gave myself that name, agency, a long time ago, because agency is like a mediation zone between two parties. So this was my idea always since the beginning, to be some kind of a bridge, link, as some kind of mediating point between different worlds, to come to help bring them together with the
Absolutely.
understanding of both. The understanding that I do not take the sides of the Taigetans, I do not take the sides of the humanity, or better said, I am on both their sides. Because
Yeah.
sometimes there's a clash, but I understand both. Having been able to be a human, I was told I am a Taigetan in an immersion, but I came as a human with a total lack of memory.
Of
But I am
course.
grateful for that, because I am able to understand the human condition, human mentality, human questions. I know what they're asking, I know what they're expecting, I can feel them. And I can also feel the Taigetans as well, even through unconscious memories and the connection. So, this needs to be bridged together if we want full disclosure.
Yeah.
Ugly and nice, the truth.
And this is the time for truth. It is
Yes.
it is a choice, and we will see it better and better in the future time. So I'm so happy that you're coming, because you will give everything you have understood, and with the view of both sides. And I think that's what the people deserve today, is not only the view from the human side and the interpretation. We need true information, true intel, and this is why I'm in contact with them, because I need to be very cautious to go out of the line, because it's very easy for us incarnated with everything happening around us to go and leave the line they are needing us to be, because they need help as well, because sometimes they wonder how come we don't understand what they are trying to transmit. Well, guys, it's not that easy, and we all have our fears and traumatism and hurts and so on, and this deviate our look at the situation. And so I guess that this collaboration helps them understanding us better, and to decide what is the direction we are going to, because this direction seems more appropriate, so that we can meet at the end in a better way. And so for me, the citizens are the disclosure. It's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's not coming from anywhere else. It's coming from the people, and so we need all the star seeds, all the light workers, group in a group like in the symposium, because then we can all discuss and all decide that we are the disclosure, true disclosure. If you take photos on the top of your roof, then nobody can, mix it up and do it with AI or whatever. So this is the story where we are now, because we are in a world where lie and illusion has been too much in place. So this is the time. This is really the time. And I think that at the symposium, we will have people who are honest on what they've been going through, what they've been living, and what they can share. And then, we can all be together and decide what future, on which timeline of future do we want to be with humanity. And it's not the celestial choosing. It's not whoever you think is going to choose. It's the people all together. So we need to start. We need to start with a part of the people, and part of the people is, first of all, the one who are already open-minded and accept that there are other species existing, and that what are we going towards too, and this is what we will all discuss during the symposium. And you will be living one of the most incredible experience of contact on the field on the third day. So I think really this experience, you shouldn't miss it. I really invite you all, people who follow Gosia from so many years, to come and live this experience. Once again, I repeat it, you will have the possibility to get the translation of everything which will be said on the scene. So it is it is luckily a good solution which appeared to us, and so that opens a good possibility for you to meet Gosia in reality. I'm looking forward to it, because I don't know you either in reality.
Not many people know me. I just keep to myself very much. I keep in my own bubble. I make videos from home. I don't organize public events. But yeah, I also want to invite everybody to come. Yes, come and join us. It will be super interesting, super fun. And also, you can also visit Paris. I don't know. See, there's a trip to France. Take a vacation and come. Combine it with whatever you want to do in the area. The France in general is a great place to explore. But anyway,
beautiful country.
Beautiful place. Yes,
Oh.
I myself, I'm looking forward to it. I've never been in Limoges area. I've been to Paris, but that was
it's not the most famous, and that's Paris, of course. I do understand that, but we are a Celtic country. We're Celtic based. This is why you have so many megaliths, because they were there much before Romans and etc. They were there before, and you know that nearly all the churches in France are built on old previous Celtic points of energy with how you say that? Spiral. Vortex. That's right. Celtic vortex. And they put all the Catholic churches on it afterwards. But the Celtic knowledge was huge. They knew how to see where there was a vortex, where there was good energies to charge yourself. So this is why when I say that all Limoges, you are lucky because you have all those megaliths in there. You are going to charge yourself with high energies, whatever. So whatever happens, even if you don't have a single ship on your photo, let's say, you will have benefited of high energies because it's there, it's in the ground. So it's totally independent of anything. So this is, this is just incredible. I'm just excited about it.
Yeah, you are an amazing woman and doing so many different things. It's brave. I have no idea how you manage this. I would not be able to organize something like that, something so enormous. And that's a lot of stress and a lot of responsibility.
A lot of work.
People and a lot of work. And oh, wow. You see, thank you. I think we're going to wind this down. It's been more than an hour. So thank you very much, Annick.
Thank you so much.
It's interesting because one of our contactees, the people that we had contact with, her name was Annick.
Oh,
and you were
okay.
Yeah. So
see, that's funny, huh? Sometimes.
He was one of the major personalities, our friends who we talked to, Annick of Temer in Taiget.
Yeah, Annick of Temer. Yes.
Anyway, thank you so much for coming. And I'm going to actually record this now in Spanish so I can invite people from Spain as well.
Cool.
which is going to be interesting. Come and see your community from Spain, because you can all mingle here together. There's going to be a lot of people from Spain coming, probably because it's so close. So thank you again. I'm looking forward to coming. I'm looking forward to meeting you individually and collectively there. And I can't wait for my presentation, I must say, because it's different. I have never thought of that idea before. So you will be the first to hear that. Thank you again.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for this moment. It was really nice. I think between contactees, we are always happy to talk, to have a chat together. So anyway, we invite you all to come to the symposium and share this moment of joy all together. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak in English and present my work as well in a way, and all this tremendous event which is coming. So what I propose is that we finish with the trailer of the symposium, so that everyone has the information, the dates, and so on. Again, you have here the link to get information. The website can be translated into Spanish, into English, so it's accessible to foreign people as well. We are really already open to foreign people, so we are all one. We are all one. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Annick. See you there.
See you.
Bye.